wonderful problem. It's Februllage, February, the month of collage. Today's prompt is Escape, Day 3, February 3rd. And my wonderful problem is I have too many ideas. I'm trying to narrow it down to just one, but two of the ideas are feeling quite prominent, so I'm going to go with them and see which one I like best. Maybe I'll post them both. I wanted to keep things simple. I wanted to keep things on a minimal level with these collages so that completing one a day won't be too much of a task. I thoroughly enjoy Februllage because that's what challenges me to at least produce something daily, and I basically do it for the month of February. Normally, I'm producing something maybe 1 or 2 times a week max. Februllage, different story. So today is Escape. I'm going to start some cutting and then I'll get back at you and tell you what I'm thinking. As shared before, with Februllage, I like to keep things somewhat simple and that minimal quality about it, taking a page out of my fellow collager YouTuber Brian Medlock's book. Keeping things simple and doing these minimal collages are just a really good exercise for me. And if you want to check out Brian's work, I'll put a link to his channel in the description. His collages are wonderfully absurd, and he also has a wonderful minimal touch to them. So yeah, check Brian's channel out. So in terms of the prompt Escape, that brings up two things for me automatically. Escape as in running away from something, or escaping in the emotional sense, the spiritual sense, or the physical sense, where we simply want to get away from it all. And how do we escape? I saw this little pack of cigarettes, and in some cases that's what we do. Nicotine is an escape coping mechanism for some. Not great for us, but it is what some people use. You may recall I cut out this piece from Dumbo, the pink elephants, which is lending itself to the idea of inebriation, getting drunk, and really escaping from it all. I don't know if I want to use this though, because although I love the movie Dumbo, these guys freaked me out. But I might use it, especially if she's my focal point, this little Teletubby girl from the New Yorker 1999. The eyes kind of match, and that may be what I'm going for. We also got the red here from the Teletubby, so I'm not sure if that's the direction I want to go in. Other elements of escape using that theme is, of course, nature, the beach in this case. This is Maui from my wonderful little Hanahau magazine from Hawaii last year. And America's pastime, baseball. So I'm thinking perhaps something along the lines of my girl here, standing on the beach. And I was going to cut these baseballs out. I'll show you, just trimming them, setting them free, but getting the grass background out. And I don't know if I want to use the cigarettes. Well, I mean, I could tuck them behind her. Poor thing, I'm giving her a nicotine habit at a young age. And maybe the pink elephants singing next to her, or all sources of escape. Some are positive and some not so positive, but nonetheless, sources of escape. So I'm going to finish this one up because I think this will be my collage. This will be it. Then I was playing with this image. I love this image, but guess what? I made a mistake. I just cut her out, and I really wanted to keep a template of her shape because I wanted to use it again, kind of like I did with this guy. Remember him? Oh, maybe they would work together here. Something like this, maybe. I I don't know, but I wanted to have a template of her like this because then I could play with it in Photoshop because that's what I ended up doing with this guy. I still can. It's not impossible, but I'm not sure. And we have the brilliant but terrifying scene of a brush fire in raging out of control in New Zealand, and unfortunately that is something we have to escape from obviously as humans, but then I always think of the wildlife and where do they escape to, and that makes me kind of sad. And it's just something I think about, especially living here in Southern California. This is something we always have to endure. It's rainy now, so I'm grateful for that, but nonetheless. So it's something maybe we need to escape from. And because she's black and white, she really stands out here. And I don't know if I want to bring this guy into it. Her by herself on this page is pretty significant because she stands out so much. It's a big possible, maybe a side thing. I also had this image from the Hawaii magazine, which actually goes this way, and this is actually a photograph that was taken and highlighted in the magazine. Copyright stuff, maybe, but I'm not planning on selling this unless somebody queries about it. And I thought she might look good like this, so I turned the picture upside down, and then it becomes something different, way different. And she's the delineation point. So this also might be an interesting take on escape. So there may be two little collages out of this. This is definitely a minimal, no problem with that. This maybe not so much, but I want to do a little bit more cutting. We also have the issue here of an even number of elements. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do have a background, which can be number 5. I was actually thinking of cutting this background out, and I was going to play with this as a background for the horizon line. So something like this maybe, where that horizon line is, but I think it's too much. Again, I'm hearkening back to Brian Medlock's advice. It's keeping it simple and absurd. That makes it just as much fun, and it can be just as sophisticated as anything else. So I'm going to finish this one. I want to cut these guys out and cut these baseballs out. And do I give this little girl a cigarette habit? I don't know. Again, it's absurd. It's fun. And let's see what we come up with. I'm going to get back to cutting. Collage. Now, it's a little busier than I imagined it would be. We have 5 pieces of ephemera, excluding the background. That would make it an even 6. And I think I want to call it something like choose your weapons or choose your vices carefully, something along those lines. I didn't get crazy with taping on the back because I did cut out this image that I've shown in other videos before. I really like it. I might want to use it again. I don't know about my pink elephants here, but I do like the way they look. I'm just hoping I altered them enough is the only thing I'm concerned about. And we have the Tinky Winky thing. I think that's Tinky Winky. I'm not good with my Teletubbies. And what I really like is I just tucked her legs in this little lava flow along with the cigarettes and the baseballs. So it's all about escape, but what do we choose to escape with? And are those choices good for us ultimately? I don't know. That's the story. I'm going to stick to it, and I'm glad you stuck through it. through this video with me. I deeply appreciate it. The escape theme, so yeah, I was playing with this too. It is kind of cool. Maybe I'll just post this on my Instagram. You know, I didn't do much with it because it was like kind of already made. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll save it for something else. But I do like it. It's just kind of fun. This one is done. Gonna scan it, post it on Instagram, and then we'll have a Februllage video at the end of the month. Anyway, I bid you adieu, and I will see you in the next video.